was in this little bubble of like, here, you know, this is what I think of everything out there instead of actually knowing what it's like out there.
Welcome, Robertson Stash.
Things like Vegas, you know, Glass Vegas and any of the other trade shows like that.
Getting more comfortable with being discomfortable. Like
yes.
Discomfort.
Yes. Yeah. And like I took a class from Salt at Cowboy Studio, like, I don't know, 2008, 2009, something like that.
That just like blow your mind?
Yeah, so like seeing someone work glass like that. I mean, Luken is like a whole nother level of working borosilicate. Like no one works quite like he does. I mean,
he just does it like, yo, what do you want?
Yeah.
I'm making like, what do you need? Get me a sandwich, no tomatoes.
Yeah, he's like using the Fordham fucking jab and shit and sculpting, and you're just like, what the fuck? But
he's got like salt hands that come out.
Yeah, he's got like 5 hands that sculpt and do everything, and he's like, here you go. Like I don't know anyone that works quite like him.
Dude, yeah, when we had our little work session, that was like crazy, dude. Yeah. Like that's the first time he did the soul window.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, let's do it clear.
Oh, I like that.
But then he comes out with the salt perk, and it just happens to stand for like sculpturally aligned linear tunnel.
Structurally aligned linear tunnel.
Sculpturally aligned linear tunnel.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a salt.
The old Gil perk.
Yeah, Gil. Yeah. I think he didn't. Yeah. Well, I think Gil is like I think he wanted that to be the way. Right. But get the spotlight off of me.
Yeah. Right. So I think for me, it was really just treating artists like artists. What I mean by that is musicians like I do. I have a lot of relationship with musicians, and I treat them like normal people. We talk about sports and food and everything but the music. And then eventually you get to a place where you're like, you want to talk about the art, you want to talk about glass because you're kind of past
the comfort level, like, or there's some, that's a good way to, you know, if you come on too strong at first about anything, it's almost like, get away.
You're like easy.
Come on there. Yeah.
So I kind of took that mentality of how I created relationships.
I've learned that over the years. Yeah.
And put that towards other artists and things like that. And so that's what I've done with glass is I've just, and also getting to know people. Once you start knowing other people, then you get introduced. I mean, I met you through Nicole. So like really just having that kind of comfort level with other people and just being like yourself, be yourself and approach people and be like, hey, I mean, that's how we met. You know, I was like, hey,
I thought you were like a lawyer, like, or somebody like you were, because
everyone
all was wearing suits that day. I was like,
who
is this? This guy's not a glass blower. You're like drinking like a champagne, admiring the art.
I was dressed up in my Thailand suit. And I
remember when you're like, you know, I'm going to introduce, because I knew who you were, but I didn't know your face. Like I followed you online, but like it's funny. I was like, yo, you're Mitchell Glass. Yeah, oh, okay. That was funny because it was kind of a different crowd there too, and I couldn't tell. It's hard to tell people from people, and everyone's dressed nicely. Yeah. So we couldn't tell the like degenerate glassblowers from like the Soho House.
Right.
People. So
plain clothes hippies is kind of what one of the terms I use for that, where you dress nicer, but you know, under the surface you're like, oh, no.
We all kind of met in the middle of that. That was a good crowd that night. That was fun.
Yeah. So I've just really been able to get to know other artists and other glassblowers through and really the music, working at the Mission Ballroom and having people come and experience music, and we experience this music together, and that creates like a connection and a bond there outside. And like, I'm not here to be like, oh, let's collab together. Let's do it. Like, no, like I want to see if I even like you first. And then maybe if we have a connection and it makes sense, maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line.
Yeah. There's a lot to that. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Robertson Stash podcast. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want to support us, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, we want to hear from you. So if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to reach out. Hit the website, hit the link. We'll see you next time.